Okay, so for today, what we're gonna be making is fried chicken with some fried rice. That's gonna be a teriyaki-like flavor. Obviously, it's not gonna be real teriyaki because real teriyaki is something completely different. Uh, that was weird. Computer just froze for a second. Sorry about that. All right. One thing you'll notice is better sound quality this time. I made sure to actually put in an earpiece that actually has a microphone, so hopefully you can still be able to hear me while I'm doing things like this instead of just my muffled voice coming out of nowhere. All right, so let's begin with the fried rice because that's going to take the longest to cook. So step one for the fried rice in this keto lifestyle is once again cauliflower. Cauliflower is your friend. Love your cauliflower. I'm gonna take a food processor. I'm gonna take about that much because I'm gonna have other vegetables in this. Maybe a little more, like a couple of drigs at the bottom of this I can throw in there too. Yeah, and that one as well. And that will be saved for another day. And this will make roughly a cup of cauliflower rice. So I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna put it onto my blender so that I can process it. And what you want to do is you want to get your cauliflower down to basically the size of rice. You don't want to go too far though, because after a while you might end up accidentally making mush. So sorry for the loud noise. Come on. There we go. Stubborn head. Perfect. So you can see the rice particles there. But that size, they're gonna be able to fry up nicely and be able to absorb the flavor as you would with a regular rice, without any of the carbs. All right, turn this one away. Now, next in the fried rice is gonna be some pepper. I'll take a couple sides of this. Oops, almost forgot the sticker. Save the rest of this for another day. And some mushrooms. I'll do about 4 of these because they're a good size. Save this for the rest of another day. And also, the one thing you can't live without, garlic. I'm not putting any scallions in this one today because I put scallions in my meal yesterday, and I don't want to use too many onions. Onions are a little bit sweeter than regular vegetables, so just your normal cut and dried vegetables. So there's a chance that I think I'll need 4. Yeah. This we're actually saving though because we're gonna need that later. But yeah, with the onions, they're a little bit sweeter, so you don't want to do onions every day. You could throw yourself accidentally out of keto that way. So now we're just gonna chop these into something that you would find in a fried rice. So it's gonna be thin slices this way, and then into about like thirds this way. So they're still like a little bit bigger than anything you'd like dice, but it's got to have a good mouthfeel on it. Just next one. If this was a stir fry, I would have just left them that long, but we're doing fried rice. The mushrooms we can just slice into thins. And you'll see they're not super thin, but they're not super thick either. They're good at that size. They fry up nicely. This is a dish I've made before, by the way, so this is not me winging it today. This is something that I've done in the past and has always set me right. These are very good fried rice, and teriyaki chicken is actually really good too. All right, that's all sliced. Now for the garlic. Oops. Wash that off. And slice, slice, slice. Yeah, I love my garlic, so it was a lot more garlic than I would say the average person. That's why I usually buy the peeled stuff, just because I actually will go through a tub of peeled garlic before it goes bad. Yeah, now I never do anything like the canned minced garlics and stuff like that. Those never taste right. They never give you the actual like perfume that you would get from natural, pickled garlic that you get with minced stuff. And garlic's cheap enough that it's just not worth it to buy a jar of it when you can just mince it yourself. But it is enough of a pain in the ass that it is worth it, I think, to buy it pre-peeled. All right. All right. So we got all the things we're gonna be putting into the fried rice. So now we're gonna start the fried rice before we even start the chicken, because the chicken's gonna take a lot less time than the fried rice. Um, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be sautéing the mushrooms and the peppers first. Throw on the garlic right after those start getting cooked. Then we throw in the cauliflower rice. Let that cook down because we want the cauliflower to be dry and sticky almost. So let's go over to the oven. I'll switch to the other camera. Um, Here we go. There we are. All right. So we're going to be cooking in this pan right here. And we're going to be using this cooking olive oil for sauteing and grilling. And we're also going to be using that to make the fried chicken. Now, we don't want to use too much oil in this dish because there's going to be a lot more oil with the fried chicken. So that should be enough right there. Turn that on. Let that preheat a bit. And while that's preheating, I can start with the chicken. So I'll move these things aside. It's a big old, just bushel of vegetables. Stuff's amazing. And for the chicken, I got these chicken tenderloins that I'm going to be cutting up. And then we're going to be dredging them in some egg. I like to use liquid egg just because I'm too lazy to use the regular egg, and usually they end up going bad before I use them. Liquid egg usually just lasts a lot longer for me. And we're going to be covering them with a pork panko. Pork panko is literally, it's just pork rinds that has been grinded down. But they serve as an unbelievable substitute for actual panko. Like, I have done so much stuff with this pork panko, you wouldn't believe it. I've made pie crusts with it. I've made fried chicken. Well, it's mostly just fried stuff and breading stuff. But yeah, so all right. Let me open up this thing of chicken. And this is, yeah, these are just some chicken tenderloins. I'm gonna dry them off. You always want to dry your meat, or else it doesn't like brown as well. And things like spices might slip off of them as the liquids come off. So I just use paper towel and another one just to dry it off. Now, these tenderloins I bought have not been the best ones. Yeah, this one has it too. You'll see there's the actual tendon in these tenderloins still. And when you're trying to make fried chicken and you bite into a piece of tenderloin, it's not a good experience. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is cutting that out, but I'm also going to be cutting these into bite-sized pieces. Before I do that, let's check the oil. Throw a piece of garlic in it just to see. Yep, we're good. All right, so I'm going to be putting the vegetables in there, and then I'll switch over to the camera once that's done. All right, back to the droid cam. There we go. All right, so I got the peppers and mushrooms in here. Now we're going to season them. As always, salt and pepper first. You always want salt and pepper. So salt and pepper are what bring up flavor. Especially salt. Especially salt. You don't want to skip on salt. Whoever told you, oh, you shouldn't put so much salt on things is a liar. It's how you get flavor. All right. So we're gonna wait for these to saute a bit. At which point we'll add in the garlic, saute a little more, then put in the cauliflower rice. And while that happens, let's switch back to regular camera, and let's go into the chicken. So I've got my chicken pieces here, and I'm going to be slicing these into bite-sized pieces, making sure to remove this tendon as I go along. So this one's going all the way down. Yep. All right, so I'm going to be slicing things into like this, into pieces about that size. Nice little bite-sized pieces that you can fit on a pair of chopsticks. Because I'm not good with chopsticks, so I need a little bigger. All right, trying to get this tendon out of here. Yeah, there we go. And you'll see that's all the tendon right there. Throw that away. That's good meat right there. A couple more bite-sized pieces. Slice up this big old honky tendon side. Don't even. There we go. Yeah, I'll just throw that all the way. And slice this into a couple bite-sized pieces. Put it aside. Next tendon. Gonna slice up tendon. Slice just all the way down, and we can pull up tendon from the other side because we want this in the bite-sized pieces anyway. Where are you? Can't hide from me. Not forever, at least. Going along. Come on. There we go. That's a big tendon. And the rest is good meat. Good. There's this membrane, though, on here that I probably want to slice off. Get that out of there. So much scrap meat. All they had to do was get me good chicken tenders, and this process would take half as long. Damn. And this one is all clean. I can just slice this. And the final piece. Whoever butchered this, butchered it. Hold on. See, yeah. Speaking of butchering it. Get you off there. Come on. Come off. There you go. And this piece right here too needs to be sliced off. That's all tendon. Yeah, you don't want that while you're making this fried chicken, or else you're gonna have those crunchy pieces of chicken, which are the worst. There's a little piece still in there. Just slice you away. There we go. Some clean chicken now. All right. Rice should be, and the vegetables should be ready for the garlic. So I'm gonna switch to the camera and do that. All right, back to dash cam. Picking up the garlic, coming over, placing the garlic in the pan. This is only gonna take about 30 seconds, so that I'm gonna actually stay over this one. Because we want it to be fragrant. We don't want to burn the garlic. We just want it to impart its wisdom on all the other vegetables. There it is. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna take our cauliflower rice right here. Take this out. We don't need this right now. Take this. Pour it in. Stir it around. Try to get as much cauliflower at the bottom as possible. Because the vegetables are basically done. Now we sit like this. We don't season this with the salt and pepper until the cauliflower has had some time to sweat out some of its water. And we'll turn this down to about a medium low for that to happen. All right. Now for the chicken. Back to camera. All right. Give me a sec. I know you heard that, and I don't know why I walked away from the camera. Sorry about that. All right. So for the chicken, we have our chicken here. We need to season it with salt and pepper first, just so that it can be binded with that. So I'm going to do that right now. Salt and pepper. And give it a good mixture around. Don't worry, I cleaned this board. And now we're going to want to dredge these in our liquid eggs and pork panko. Oh, before I actually do that, I should get started on the oil itself so that I can have time to heat up. So I'm going to be taking the same oil, and we want just a thin layer of oil. You'll see what I mean once we get over here. And we're going to put it at medium-high heat. That should be good. Yeah. We're going to be doing this as a flip fry, not a deep fry. All right, move these things over. Gotta take this. So these plates are going to be used for dredging liquid, liquid egg. Which I'm just going to pull the rest of this out. Ooh, it's going to be a close call with this amount of egg. We want to salt and pepper our egg. Give that a good mix. Grab my fork. Mix it around just so that all the salt and pepper is evenly distributed. And for the pork panko, we want enough pork panko to cover these, which is going to be maybe about a cup's worth of panko. But a cup's worth of panko was, I don't know, less than an ounce. Yeah, it's 12 ounces for this entire jar. I'm gonna pour this in there. A little more. Oops, that's a little too much. Get that back in there. Alright, now I'm gonna make sure to break up all the clumps that you find. We don't want to season with salt. It already has salt in it, but we will season it with a little pepper, a little garlic powder, by a little garlic powder, I mean a lot of garlic powder, obviously. Onion powder. Now, this one I actually do mean a little. The onion powder flavor can really overtake a meal, so you want to really lightly sprinkle that on. That should be enough. And then we just mix that around. Make sure all the flavors get to know each other. Give it a taste. That's good. That's exactly what I was looking for. Alright. And now we can begin with our dredging and dredging and breadcrumbing. I'll move this over. I need to grab another plate for this. Put that right there. Alright. This is looking good. Alright. So what we want to do, make sure to work with two hands, because you want to make sure, there we go. You want to make sure that you keep liquids in one hand and dries in the other hand, or else you get clumpy fingers. So with one hand, I put the chicken in the egg, then I throw it into here, move it along, put it on. And this is basically how covered you want it to be. In here, along, down. It's gonna take me a quick minute. Do multiple pieces at once. Hello, I'm waiting for you. Come along tonight. I want you ever long. And I wonder if I ever. If all I wanna do is do it again. I don't wanna let you. Put all the chicken in there. Be faster to do this. I don't know why I'm bothering with the way I was doing it. Now, because I'm doing this, I'm just gonna be able to go dredged, down, whoop, dredged, down, whoop, dredged, down, whoop, dredged, down. Oops, accidentally touched it with the wrong hand. This is what I'm talking about. One touch and it's all over these fingers. Oh well. I'll just wash off my hands after. Not wasting any breadcrumbs anyway. I did put a little too many breadcrumbs in here. Oh well. Rather have leftover breadcrumbs than not enough and I have to make more. Alright, let me wash my hands. Alright. Now let's go over to the other camera because we're going to be spending a lot of time on this side for a minute. Alright, so we got our chicken here. Move it over. And we can test out this oil to see if it's hot enough by taking a pinch of our panko, putting it in there. That looks good. When it's sizzling like that, it means it's hot enough. Get a pair of tongs, and we'll be using those to flip them after a few minutes. But first, we can just put these in by hand. And if you notice, I'm using a small little, what's it called? Small little pan for this. That way I don't waste oil. This olive oil is a little more expensive than vegetable oil. But I can't have vegetable oil, I can have olive oil. Ooh, these might actually, I might have put a little too much oil in here and we might actually get a deep fry and not even have to turn them. Getting everything in here, then I'm going to push it down with the tongs. Yeah. We'll see if that even needs to be flipped. Alright, and while we're doing that, the fried rice should be getting nice and crispy. Yep. Now we can throw some salt and pepper in there, and then we're going to put a little teriyaki, not teriyaki, soy sauce as well. So actually, it's really good. It's just be soy sauce and pepper. Soy sauce goes in. Yeah, soy sauce is very salty. So we don't really need salt. Alright. That's beginning to look good. Turn that down a little more. We want that rice to be nice and cooked through. Nice and fried. Just like that. Alright. Come back over here. Camera. And while that's all happening, I'm going to get rid of these plates. And I'm going to start with the teriyaki mix. So this is obviously not a traditional teriyaki. Can't have a lot of sugar. Take it in this bowl so that we can throw the chicken right into it once we're done. I got an idea. There we go. Now you can see in. All right. So a base is soy sauce. Got enough in there. Then we got to get a microplaner because we're going to put some garlic in there. Because obviously there's going to be garlic in anything I cook. Probably 2 cloves. All right. A little bit of onion powder. Some stevia for sweetness. A little bit of apple cider vinegar for some of that vinegariness. And yeah, just play around with the recipe. That's exactly what I'm doing is I'll add in other flavors once I put it in there just to see if I need to add anything else. Right now I'm grabbing some ground ginger. That's not the ground ginger, that would have been a mistake. There it is. And some red pepper flakes. Obviously, normally you would want to use, sorry. Normally you'd want to use red pepper flakes. I mean, not red pepper flakes. Fresh ginger, but I don't have any fresh ginger on hand, so regular ginger goes in. Then the good helping of red pepper flakes, because I do like my things a little more spicy than normal. Take our knife to actually wipe it off, because I think there's some chicken bits on it. Give it a nice stir. What does it need? It needs something else. No, I just didn't have a red pepper flake. It's actually pretty good. So now that we have this, we want to thicken it a bit. So we're going to put in a splash of water. I'll put it in a cup so you can see. So just like small splash of water. We're going to put in some xanthan gum, the other secret ingredient to the living keto. It's a thickening agent. You don't want to use a lot of it. I'm only using literally a pinch. We want it thicker so that it can stick to the chicken better, like an actual like sauce. Just give it a mix. Takes a minute for the xanthan to start doing its work, but at this point, it's a little thicker, and you'll notice it coats the fork better. And it's good. Yeah, it needs more stevia. That's what it needs. Need more stevia. That's better. All right, chicken needs to be flipped, so let's go over to that. Come on. There we go. Yep. Give these all a nice flip. Let them cook on the other side for a minute. Come on. There you go. Sorry for the Dutch angle there. Go. There we go. Alright, and the cauliflower rice is done. Come back over. Switch back to the camera. And at that time, this should have thickened a little more. Alright, so this isn't as thick as I want it to be actually, so I'm going to put a little more xanthan in there. Another pinch. Make sure we get all the xanthan on the sides. This is caught up on the sides. Yeah, you gotta be careful with xanthan gum though, because it thickens fast, and if you put too much in it, it becomes a slimy, slurry mess that is very unappetizing. So yeah, now this is, yeah, that's getting like the consistency of like a barbecue sauce now. You know, much more easy to coat the chicken when it's done. All right. Speaking of the chicken, I believe that is done at this point. So clean off this work surface. Grab some more paper towels. Put these down here. I'm gonna move this camera back over here. Especially because what's coming next is gonna be hot oil, and I don't want my laptop being covered in hot oil. So I'm gonna turn off this, move this over, take our spatula, not spatula, our tongs, take out all the pieces of chicken. Good, right? Add a little salt. Put this back onto the stove to cool down. And then we're gonna let these sit for about a minute, maybe less, probably a minute. We just wanted to calm down before we put them into the sauce. While that's happening, I'm gonna get my plate. I'm too lazy to use dishes, so I use paper plates. Paper plate. While these are cooling down, let's plate the cauliflower. Right? Look at this. This looks delicious. It's got that nice crispin on it. Mm. The cauliflower is soft, but it's like not mushy. And it's just a beautiful color. There we go. Mm. Mm. The brown bits at the bottom pan, one of my favorite things. Alright. Same time, gonna grab a pair of chopsticks. And let's dredge our chicken pieces in this teriyaki sauce. And then it all goes on. The teriyaki sauce will go on top of this. It will be very good. These all go in. Oh yeah, you can see there's like a nice crunch to these. Yeah, you can hear that. Mm. The chicken's really good by itself. So like, want to make just like a fried chicken, you can take those tenderloins and instead of turning them up, just dredge them in the flour and the egg and the pork pinko like that, whatever spices you want. Put it in there, and then you can make different types of fried chicken. Very good. these on. Mm. Mm. Put that in the skillet. Voila. Teriyaki fried chicken with fried rice. Rice is good. Let's see how this chicken tastes. So good. It's juicy like fried chicken should be. It has a nice crunch of fried chicken. You really don't taste pork. It tastes like a breadcrumb. It's crazy. Like if you eat them raw, they taste like pork. Yes, because they're pork. But when you fry them up, that pork flavor just goes away, and you're left with fried chicken. Mm. Yeah, and that's the meal. Thank you for watching. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing one of these tomorrow, but maybe I will, maybe I won't, and I don't know what I'm gonna be cooking tomorrow because I don't decide what I cook until about 3 hours before I cook. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.